Also brought to you by the Boatyard in Fort Lauderdale. Eat local, but stay coastal at the Boatyard Restaurant. The Boatyard is located at 1555 Southeast 17th Street in Fort Lauderdale. That means you can come by boat or you can come by car. Enjoy the nautical atmosphere whether you sit inside in the cold AC or outside on the patio bar. The Boatyard has something for everyone. Monday through Friday, happy hour, where local favorite is bar bites and handcrafted cocktails. Open for lunch, dinner, and the popular Sunday brunch. And don't forget, Ladies' Night, every Thursday night from 7 to 10 p.m. where ladies drink free. Dock and dine at the famous Boatyard in Fort Lauderdale. I am sure you'll have a great experience.
Clear the airways. The Lunker Dog is on the air.
Are you ready? This is the Real Guy Podcast.
Well, I woke up this morning, it was drizzling rain, it was a hot, humid day, I was feeling no pain. Boat gassed up in the beer on ice, we're gonna go see if the mother all running tonight. Yeah, we take a cast net out and we shake it all about and we throw it to the left and chunk it to the right and we're gonna get ourselves a dozen so we can do that hog leg boogie. In Hog Leg we trust is what we say when we head out on the water day after day. Trolling lines past our favorite spots, but we seem to get cooted a lot. Yeah, we take our cast net out and we shake it all about and we throw it to the left and we chunk it to the right and we're gonna get ourselves a dozen. We can do that Hog Leg boogie. Yeah, getting as much water time as we can afford. Don't care what the wife says, I'm hitting the door. The salt in the air and the sun in my face, it makes me seem like I'm not out of place. Yeah, we take our cast net out and we shake it all about and we throw it to the left and choke it to the right and we're gonna get ourselves a dozen. We can do that Hog Leg boogie. Boogie, 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 boogie. Brand new jam.
Run that dog. That's the big Bursa Man Bursa in the Lunker Dog Studios tonight, busting out with his brand new jam straight out of the Honky Tonk Garage, and that one's called the Hog Leg Boogie. Original style, bro.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, no, I got fired up a couple weeks ago and just broke that one out. It's been a while since I wrote a jam. Got to be in the right frame of mind to write songs.
Dude, writing is like hard shit.
It is.
You know? And I don't know, when you busted out years ago with the original Barnacle music, the big Bursa Man jams and all that stuff, that was like one of the best times of my life, like that period.
Right.
And each one of those songs, you know, being original, being something that we made basically at the old Shark Bite Bar.
Right, the old house.
Right. And if you guys don't know what the hell we're talking about, that's cool because...
You go way back for some of that stuff. I mean, it's been a lot of years now.
Dude, that was 14 years ago.
Wow.
That was before Victoria Rose.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. No, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and for the part of the audience that isn't that familiar with the big Bursa Man Bursa, first of all, where the hell you been? Second of all, Bursa and I have been hanging, I mean, consistently for close to 20 years now.
Yep.
And Bursa's always been inspired by music, and he's got some fresh new guitars, and he's got a new recording studio they call the Honky Tonk Garage. Tell us a little bit about that.
The garage is coming along. I'm building it out to be basically my little honky tonk. I love my country music. I get up there to Nashville a lot, and there's no honky tonks down here. I mean, I have a dream maybe opening my own honky tonk bar down here.
Really?
I'm curious about the amount of talent that's down here, if there's enough to play, 4 or 5 nights a week. I get mixed reviews when I talk to our, like guys that play around town. And even if like a honky tonk would make it down here, but I think that it's original for this area, and I think that it's a possibility.
Does it have to be like country honky tonk music?
Well, I mean, I think you could probably get like a...
Like, because the guy that comes to mind is Kilmo. Carl.
Carl
He
Kilmer.
played at LunkerCon this year. He used to play at JC's White World
Okay.
Beer with the Shack Daddies.
Right.
And, I mean, that dude could play just about anything.
Okay.
He's one of those super pros.
Right.
But, like, if you had a guy like him and a local,
Right.
we met him, Nicole and I met him towing him in one night.
Really?
He was stuck in the ICW. Me and the girl were on the way to Southport. We're going to do a few beers and hang out a little bit.
Right.
And we're on our way, right past the 15th Street boat ramp. And Carl from Kilmo and the Killers, or the Shack Daddies at that time, was stuck in his boat. And we pulled over and helped him out and towed him back to the boat ramp.
Okay.
So homeboy says to me, dude, I'd love to come play at your bar for free. Because, we were telling him about the bar and all
Right.
that. And he did. And
JC's.
yeah.
Okay.
And it was a big night at the bar. Everybody loved it. So the Shack Daddies came down there and busted out some really
jams.
original style grooves. And we had him at the bar for about 2 years straight.
Oh wow.
And it was he was great. And anyway, he's original. He's from Hollywood, I think, but he lives right there next to you now.
Okay.
Just over there on the North Broward side. But anyway, I was just thinking about guys like him would love to come in to a place like that and just be able to, bust out some jams or whatever.
Well, that's a dream. I mean, I think I'm going to start in the garage here and then branch off. I mean, I'm going to start having jam nights at the house. I'm trying to get. I got Lamont over there playing bass. He's pretty good. Like together, we sounded great. So, and I'm working on a drummer. I'm trying to put the whole band together.
You're putting the band together.
Putting the band together. I mean, it's time.
Well, the episode I wanted to do with you tonight, Scott.
Yeah.
I'm doing this new series on
Okay.
the Abacos.
Oh, Abacos, yeah.
I got this relief. Program going on for DL Construction over there.
Oh, yeah.
And the way I look at it is, there's been plenty of aid going over to the Abacos, but most of it's been, food, water, generators, things like that. Like short-term,
Relief.
but real relief stuff that they needed.
Sure. Yeah.
But now, now they're getting that stuff. But what I'm afraid of is that as the rebuilding starts, and the way I look at it is these insurance companies are going to come in.
Right.
They have a mortgage system over there. Most of the places, especially the people that got dough over there, they have their places insured.
Right.
So eventually they're going to come in and they're going to have all these, adjusters out there, and they're going to start paying out to get that construction work done. And what I'm afraid of is that because the Abaconians that got totally demolished by the storm,
Displaced, too.
right,
Kicked out of there.
right, they're not in a position to build. So DL Construction, which is Darren Lightbourne's company, he's got about 20 guys that were working for him before the storm. They had trucks and they had all the tools and equipment, and they were putting together stuff, and then they got totally wiped out. Instead of guys like him doing the work, because they can't, because they were totally,
They got nothing left. I mean,
they got totally ripped off from everything they possibly had. And they're not going to be able to do the work if the insurance company even wanted to pay them. So this is what I'm calling it phase 2 of the relief.
Okay.
Because if the Bahamians or the Abaconians especially aren't in position to help themselves, if they can't help themselves, then they're going to import people in
Right.
to do the work, which isn't going to do a whole lot for the
Well,
economy.
you got to get the local Bohemians back there.
Right.
Like it's where they live.
Right.
And
But the whole episode's not on the relief effort.
okay.
These episodes are about the great times that we spent in the Abacos and doing our thing in the Abacos, because so many Americans, chose to spend their extra money, time,
Right,
and
over
energy to be over there.
Right. It's right there.
Right.
Literally next door.
Right. And if you did do that, you got to know some of the Abaconian people, and you realized what a different place it is.
Okay.
And I think it means a little bit to every single person that ever spent some time there.
Sure.
And Bursa and I, 17 years ago when I got married,
Oh yeah.
we did our own little excursion to the Bahamas.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And that was one of the best boat deals I ever did.
Really?
Well, remember we got the salt shaker?
Yeah.
So I sold the salt shaker, which is our demo boat.
Right.
That was the boat we had at all the boat shows or whatever. And once a year I would sell that. And I sold it to Alex and Rob.
Right.
But the part of the deal is I would sell to them at a specific price, but we were going to be able to use it to do our Abaco excursion. And that was part of the negotiations. They didn't actually even get to take. They didn't even get to take possession of the boat till after that trip, if you remember.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
So anyway,
No, that was phenomenal. I mean, that was like a 2-week trip when you got married over there. We loaded up on the 30-foot center console, towing the 17-foot Carolina skiff.
right.
And we went over there, checked in at West End, and then we went to just north of Grand Bahama there in the middle of nowhere where we saw nobody.
And
Nobody.
there was nobody.
And we pulled around there for 2 days
That's right.
catching bonefish. That was phenomenal.
That was.
For us it was.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that too, because Bursa and I were not alone. I brought one of my cousins and fishing buddies with me, and we also brought the famous peanut farmer Darren Jenkins with us.
Yep.
And let's just say me and Bursa were on one page, and they were on another page.
Well, that was right in our bone fishing spurt. Like when we really were hitting hard Biscayne Bay and we were on the bonefish high, and it's just like the next step was getting over there and not touching land for days.
So what are you saying, that our focus was a little bit different than Eric's and,
Yeah,
and
you can
Darren's
say that.
focus? I think you're absolutely 100%
Plus,
correct.
we were exactly on a yacht. We were roughing it on a center console for 2 days. And I actually slept on the Carolina skiff.
Explain that. Talk about that a little bit, and the storms and everything that was going
the
on.
storms would roll through there. It's kind of like the Everglades. Like it's an ecosystem that produces weather, and these storms would roll in. You're like, holy shit! Look, and lightning all around us, and we just had to sit there.
Dude, it was a part of the experience, right?
No, it was.
So Bursa and I are sitting there, and we're on the boat, and the storms are rolling in, and we're hunkering down for the night, and we couldn't be more excited. And the more excited that Bursa and I got, let's just say the less excited that Eric and Darren got. And we weren't leaving.
Well, we wanted extended today, and they were like, whoa.
They couldn't handle roughing it for another day.
That was good. But then we went to that other spot and roughed it anyways. I mean,
Well,
eating jacks and cooties.
yeah.
That was cool.
No, roughing it for 3 days. And let me explain exactly where we were, because we were in the middle of nowhere. When you cross the Gulf Stream, you go over and you check in at West End, which is at the west tip of Grand Bahama Island.
Right.
And especially, it was 17, 18 years ago.
Sure.
It wasn't like there was like a ton of people doing that trip like today.
No.
I mean, not even close. And then where we went as far behind.
To the north side. We went around to the north side.
But we tucked kind of like behind Abaco and in front of Grand Bahama, out of the way, where we were behind some islands. And even if boats did go by, they would have no clue that we were there. And we had no clue that they were there, because we're, literally 30 miles off what you would call the path.
Beaten path, yeah.
Right.
No, it was definitely out of the way, and it was trip of a lifetime to be bonefishing. I mean, that was
right. And at the time, we were much younger and we were a little bit more hardcore, and we didn't exactly pack, especially like food and stuff, the way we probably should have. So during the day, we were bonefishing. We catch a small barracuda, a jack, anything that wasn't
a bonefish
was edible. And we ate everything, dude.
Right. No, well, you got to try it.
Yeah. So we'd make a little fire. We had like a propane.
And a grill or something I brought.
Yeah. And we make a little fire and do a little barbecue and eat what we could. And then as soon as you could see in the morning.
Yep. We get out there.
We get out there and
because
pull.
you were on the flat. We woke up on the flat.
Exactly.
It's phenomenal. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Exactly. And so we spend a couple 3 nights behind Grand Bahama just doing some bone fishing, and then we get back in the boat and we roll down past Treasure Key to Hopetown.
Yep.
And when we get to Hopetown, Well, that's when the rest of the party.
Well, everybody else was already there.
Right.
Like that was going. It was a destination wedding, and like all your family and friends and everybody was coming in, and then we rolled up. It's like they were waiting for us.
Well, we were a day and a half late.
Right.
We were a day and a half late, and back then we didn't have cell phones.
Right.
See, fools today don't even get the whole not having a phone thing.
Right. No, it's unplugged.
Right.
Right.
And back then, my wife, out of all the people, you'd think she'd be like the most worried that we were a day and a half late, nobody heard from us, whatever. She was like, it's kind of like normal. Jeff will go out through the Bahamas. I want to hear from him, and if he gets back, if a week goes by, she might get nervous.
Right.
But nobody else was used to that crap, including Darren's wife.
Oh yeah.
And Eric's wife.
Because they were all over there. Yeah.
Right. Everybody was there, waiting.
Well, we'll be there on Wednesday, and Wednesday came and went, and
then Thursday kind of came and went. We rolled in there Thursday evening.
right.
And let's just say not only was the people there in Hopetown already relieved, but I think Darren and Eric were pretty damn relieved also. And the only two people that weren't so high on it was Bursa and I. We kind of wanted to push it for another day.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we did get a lot of bone fishing there at off of Hopetown there when we went back to the Big Island, I think.
Dude, we did what we were preaching back then, bonefish and marlin.
And marlin, yeah. No, those were good days.
Those are great days.
Abaco, I got my bonefish. I got my marlin. I mean, I got a lot of important. I got the huge perm. Checked a lot of boxes back then.
Yeah, those were the days. Busaka is like just so jealous.
Of what?
Of the old stories about you and me fishing on the flats. I mean, not a minute goes by when I'm hanging out with Busaka where he's not asking me, so how many trips did you and Bursa actually do? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I didn't count the trips. All I can tell you is we went 4 or 5 times a week for 2 years or something like that.
Right.
And he's trying to be bonefish Busaka now.
Right. No, he's hooked. You get out there. It's my favorite fishing there is, and I see the appeal of someone that is into fishing. They get out there and they pull around. I mean, you get one of those things on a little 8-pound, 10-pound, or even on a fly. Dude, there's nothing better.
Dude, even if you just get a chance to see a school swim by the front of the boat.
Well, just pulling out there, man. It's just you're unplugged from the world, and it's quiet, and then once you see that shadow, you're like, holy shit, your heart starts beating. It's like instant intensity.
Right.
It's like it's sight fishing. Like not like sitting back trolling and waiting for drag to start spinning off.
No, it's totally different. It's
hunting.
And it totally intrigues Busaka.
Really? No,
yeah.
he emailed me a picture of his bonefish. He's like, oh man, I got it, and he's all fired up.
Pretty proud.
He's like, I kept singing your bonefish on the flat all day long. Like, dude, barnacle music grows on you, bro.
Barnacle music does grow on you.
So
now that was your first experience in the Abacos?
Yeah, me and Darren did a trip to Bimini on my old 21-foot T-Craft. Remember that thing?
I do remember
with this cracked blower unit on that old Mercury.
No, that was class.
And me and Darren went over there. But for the Abacos, that was my first trip over there. My brother bought a house not too long after that, year or so. And, I mean, it's a great spot over there, but the house is gone now. My brother's house.
The house on Guam.
Yeah, it got blown away. I don't know. Tornadoes hit it. I don't know what it really
It
gets
got
smashed.
demolished. I saw the pictures.
Yeah, the pictures are amazing.
So
The damage that was done.
So Bursa's brother bought a house on Guanakee, and it was a beautiful little house, and the view,
Little cottage.
yeah, unbelievable view, just
Right on the ocean, up on a dune, about 200 yards south of Nippers. So you could stumble down a Nippers, stumble back, and
Whoa.
it was, which I did. And he's like 3 acres. It's like paradise.
Right.
And it got destroyed.
It's totally gone.
Gone.
Totally gone. Yeah.
But that's island life, like whatever. We gotta do what we can to help rebuild, and my brother will rebuild, but we need a grocery store back. We need
hardware store.
We need all these other things.
Ferry system.
Right. You can't just go over there and tent.
Yeah. No. See,
like,
I think that's the hardest thing. The hardest thing for people that haven't spent time over there is it's really hard to understand how segregated and isolated each one of the islands actually is.
Right.
Like we think about, okay, we're going to get some plywood, and some fuel. You got to get a case of beer.
That's like
and
a
some
2-day event.
ice. Right. That's like a 2-day event to gather all that shit.
Right.
When everything is good.
Right, everything goes right. Yeah.
Right, when everything is good. And at any time you could show up to Marsh Harbor or Treasure Key, one of the places where you think you're going to get all the supplies that you want,
Right.
and they got maybe half of it or none. And you just deal with it. You just roll with it. But what people don't understand is trying to put the communities back together
Right.
after the devastation that they've, had.
Well, they shipped everybody out, from what I understand. Like the majority of people, like the Bohemians, need to come back to their islands. Like,
Well, that was at the first part of the process with Darren. Originally, we thought we were going to raise some money and bring him here to the States
okay,
and let him hang out here for you. I think he was legally allowed to come for 3 months,
Okay.
without any special paperwork or whatever. And we were going to have, get him a little apartment or something, get him something here in the States to kind of regroup, get over the trauma.
right.
Imagine like not just your house getting demolished. Can you imagine your whole community, your
Yeah,
whole island,
it's
basically.
Here one day, gone the next.
Right.
Like,
So we thought it'd be a good idea for them to come here and spend a little time until things got back to at least where there was some sort of process going on over there.
right, moving forward somehow.
But they
he-
got sent from Cooperstown
Okay.
to Nassau because of the quarantine issues. So the government was evacuating a lot of the people where Darren lived and putting him in Nassau. So rather than him sit in Nassau, we thought he'd come here. Once they lifted the quarantine,
He went back.
him and his wife just decided that they were going to bite the bullet, go back to Cooperstown, and
Because their house is gone, or just flooded, or
their house was damaged,
Okay.
but their house was rebuildable.
Okay.
And they were able to rebuild it and get it back to a livable condition.
Okay.
So that was phase one.
Sure. And you got to get back to live where you live. Sure.
Right. So they decided that they just didn't have the heart to sit back here and wait.
Yeah.
They decided to
Seemed
jump in with
useless.
jump in with both feet and go back to Cooperstown. So they're there. The issue now, of course, is Darren's construction company is totally gone.
All his equipment, everything.
Yeah, he had multiple trucks, all the saws. They had these roofing machines because roofing's a big deal over there where they do these metal roofs. And they were, they really had a good process, a good building process that's basically destroyed now. So this next phase, we're raising money to help Darren and DL Construction get that equipment back so when the insurance companies start to pay out, they're
ready.
in a position to help rebuild the community.
Right. No,
And once we get Darren up and going, we're going to find the next Bahamian family that maybe they own the hardware store.
Right.
But we're going to try to focus on the Bahamians that can actually get the community
Moving again.
moving again.
Sure.
No,
Yeah. That's what you need. That's a good idea.
Well, that's the
I
plan.
mean, it beats just throwing money at some website over here. Like, you're actually boots on the ground, kind of helping an individual succeed, and then they'll help other people, and then you help the next guy, and
right.
like it's no
Right.
guessing. You get to see your fruit of your
Well, that the production is going to happen.
right.
You're going to watch it. You're going to say, hey, this kid got a truck. Now he can go and pick up the other stuff that we sent to him. You don't realize.
Well, that's the time to grow. I mean, you start a disaster area like that, and that could be great for Darren.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think that's what the community is going to need.
they
And
need leaders to come in there and work,
And I think
run crews, work.
Yeah, and I think that, speed is going to be the hardest thing. Without guys like Darren up and going, it's just going to be that much slower.
Right.
The faster that
No, you got to get a line. Like, when does your house get rebuilt? This year? Next year? 5 years? Like,
Well, even-
everything needs to be rebuilt.
right, or if somebody else comes in to do the rebuilding, the poor guy's going to sit there and wait to watch somebody else rebuild something that he could have built.
Right. Right now, it's his island. It's where he's from. I mean, like, guys like that, people like that should be back to their home. I mean, if they blew my house away and I lived over there, I'd get a tent. I'd be back, get ready, get in a nicer tent, and get an AC plugged in, a generator, and I'd start rebuilding. Like, we need to get It's going to be a long, slow process, but
No, it's
start
slow
moving in that direction.
and expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive. People don't realize how expensive it is to get stuff
It's already
to.
expensive, right? Yeah.
Right. The shipping and the coordination.
Duty, they still got duty on everything.
No, they're
over
gonna
there?
lift. They lift the duty. They lift the duty for right now, so people can help. But like for instance, now if we had all the dough already raised,
Okay.
and I went out there and I spent all the dough and I put all this equipment in a container
Right.
and sent it over to Darren.
Would you ever get it?
Well, you don't have a truck to get it. So first we got to get him a truck. And once he gets a truck, and just like
Truck and a trailer.
right, what can a construction site do here?
Right. Now you
Without
need
a pickup truck.
You need a truck and a trailer, and then you can start hauling.
Well, you can start moving.
Right. You hauling, then you can start getting some tools, because debris's got to be moved.
Oh, dude, all sorts of stuff.
You can make money with a trailer and a truck over there. Just start hauling debris. I mean, what are you gonna do with this stuff? Burn it over there? Like, how do they get rid of all that? Like, that's a lot of debris.
They're gonna be burning shit. They're putting stuff on big barges and shipping it out of there. But I mean, dude, what?
It's monumental.
Yeah, and it's something that unless you're familiar with the Bahamas or spend a lot of time there, you don't get.
Right.
It doesn't make sense because it's so different.
Right. No.
And it's hard,
especially with every little island is like a different location, community. Like the big island is all together and does what they do, but every little island struggles.
Well, I mean, like we got counties over here.
Right.
And we cross the county line at our leisure whenever the heck you like.
Right.
Over there they got water.
Right.
So if you want to go from Cooperstown to Green Turtle, which is right across the bay.
Right. With supplies.
Right.
Right. You need a barge. You need like a transport boat or.
Exactly. Just to do it.
Right.
It's just the thing. But the Hopetown. Now, I heard that place pretty much got destroyed for the most part.
Yeah,
and Jamie Huff has been over there, and Skipper Gentry's been over there, and they're getting, they're making small strides. They're helping.
Okay.
But that's where everything happened the week that Bursa and I went and spent the time, and
yeah, no, that was all that's been tore up pretty good from that adventure. So but yeah, that was a fantastic trip. We've done a lot of good trips. Costa Rica, we did Panama, and the Bahamas were those are epic trips
those were epic trips.
of a lifetime. I mean,
Dude, I tell this story all the time. When I got married there in Hopetown, that little church,
yep,
I caught a wave
yeah,
down the beach from the church, literally 15 minutes before I walked down the aisle.
Well, we were bone fishing before that,
And we
didn't get in till
we bone fished
it was
in the
5
morning.
o'clock wedding. We got back at 3:45 or something, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and
We bone fished the day of the wedding. Then right before the wedding, I ran down the beach.
you
and
took
I,
off.
And
I saw you go. I'm like, where do you go?
Yeah, everybody was getting ready for the wedding and stuff. And God, we had like 100 people over there.
There was waves that day too.
Not really, but there was a wave breaking on that one little rock over there. And I was like, I'm going to run down there. I'm going to catch a wave real quick. And I caught a wave and then hauled ass back to the room to put on my freaking fancy clothes so I could go get married.
Was that planned, or you just did that spontaneously? Had you been thinking about that?
No, I wasn't thinking about that. I was a
You
little
just said
nervous.
Nervous, yeah. No, I can tell you.
I didn't want to hang around the front of the friggin'
Right. Yeah.
church there and talk to all the relatives and stuff while I was nervous. And then
That's a good plan.
Yeah, I was like, well, dude, there's a nice little wave breaking over there.
Right.
So get bonefish in the morning, wave before the wedding, and a blue marlin the day before. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And everything that I ever wanted all happened, at least
there.
ever wanted at that time in my life,
Right.
happened in one day. Bonefish, marlin, being in the Abacos,
Wait, with catching a wave.
and Nicole.
And marrying Nicole. No, Nicole's your best catch ever.
Right? Yeah.
Dude, she's way better than any other trophy fish you got. Nicole's a trophy all on her own. She's
Yeah.
a phenomenal woman.
Yeah, and think about that. All that happened in a 24-hour time period in one of the most special places in the world.
Yeah, no, the stars align for you on that one.
Dude, I love it.
You'd be tough to plan that
No, you
and pull it off.
Yeah,
it worked.
That was a microcosm of life back then.
Well, yeah, life was different then.
We didn't have kids. Fishing was all we thought about. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
That's well, people are like, geez, how you get so damn good fishing over the years? There was never a time
Weren't fishing.
that we weren't fishing.
Right.
So how the hell could you not get good at it?
Well, most of these people have jobs, like regular jobs. Like me and you never had a job.
Now, that's kind of a poor excuse. A little bit.
No, it's true. You get locked. Your job consumes you, and when you're not married to a day-to-day structure that people have, you get to make your own schedule. And if your schedule is going to include fishing,
But later on after the wedding and all that,
right.
And we're selling the boats and all that,
Yeah.
right? And
Right.
we're brokering the boats,
Sure.
and we're getting work done.
Well, yeah, but it's not a job. Most people got jobs. I'm saying where they got to show up. Like, we never had to show up anywhere. We did what we had to do, and that's the beauty of being us.
Well, dude, if you can sell a boat,
Right.
and you can wrap everything up at 2:30 in the afternoon, and then go fishing for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's
If you can do both, then you should do both.
right.
But I don't want people to sit back and think that for a second that you can't do both. Now you might,
I guess, but yeah, I mean, if your priorities there, after work, you go and you fish.
No, you said it exactly right. It's all about priorities.
That's true, yeah.
And
I did say that.
think about that. Think all the boats and all the work we were doing. And there was almost never an afternoon where I didn't at least go and try to get a tarpon or a big snook.
Yeah.
And then God forbid we have morning open, because then we were in Black's Point and doing Biscayne Bay,
Yeah, you were focused back then. I mean, that was all training for running a successful guide business years later. Like, look at this here. How many charges do you a year? 300 charges a year, so?
I think I did 274 last year.
Jeez, that's crazy. But that's all from practice.
Right, practice. Practice.
10,000 hours.
But I mean, there's no big secret. You're like, geez, how do you get good? Just like, how do you get good at football? Oh, you get the shit kicked out of you every day.
Yeah, nobody wants to put the time in for anything.
That's true. Yeah, now you take a brewski for sure.
There you go.
Dude.
Yeah, nobody wants to put the time in.
Yeah, and nobody.
Just trying to get the effect.
Nobody wants to put the time in, and there's not enough people drinking brewskis into a podcast.
Right. Well, we did a lot of brewskis back in the day. Those were good times back then.
Yeah, that was the best time of my life.
No, we can recreate that in our own little way right now. Like, we've never lost it. We still got that same you and me in us. Yeah. And we can roll the same way, even though life has changed and other priorities come into life,
Yeah. It's funny. I think it was last year or maybe the year before.
Right.
Some guy from New York gets on my boat, and he goes, "Whoa, what a life! All you got to worry about is bait."
That's it.
And that's exactly what went through my mind. I looked at the guy dead in his face, and I started to say something. I was like, he's never going to get it.
No,
and like, what the hell else would I worry about?
Right.
It's always about the bait. Dude,
Right.
That's
Dude,
but
it's not always easy.
Right. He was he thought he was being so sarcastic and so funny, and dude, you weren't funny. You were right. It's about the bait.
It is about the bait.
So when I get up every day, the first thing I think about is bait. And homeboy was trying to make fun of me for that.
He didn't understand. I mean, he thinks that's so simple. Because he used to buy worms and stuff. Get catching shiners up there in New York. What is it? What do they get up there? Trouts
No,
and
I
reds?
think he was like city slicker type.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, had to sell somebody something or something.
Ham and egger.
He damn sure didn't. Well, he didn't realize or appreciate
The skill that's needed to catch bait every day.
Right. Like what the?
It's a monumental task that I make look easy.
Right. That's
It's
what
just called-
separates the great from the good. It's like,
Right.
yeah. You started getting my friggin' feathers
Right.
all ruffled here talking about this friggin' Yankee that doesn't understand about bait. But yeah, I mean, life goes on, man.
Yeah, no, it does. You kind of let that just slide off you.
Yeah, let me shake that.
Yeah, bait. It's no problem for me.
So, dude,
What?
talk to me a little bit about your new jam, the Hog Leg Boogie.
The Hog Leg Boogie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I came up with that a few weeks back. I try to incorporate different aspects of the lunker life over here into the song, and let's catch a little jam. We should make Lamont should make a video. Get like those big Ernst fuckers doing a Hog Leg Boogie and get the.
I like that idea.
Work it all in there, Hog Leg Boogie, and everybody out there. And
he knows how to do music videos.
Who?
Lamont.
Yeah.
He does all those rappers videos.
Yeah, no, he's.
Keisha and all these crazy names. He wants me to freaking like, I did that music video for Keisha there. I'm like, Keisha. I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about.
No, he's involved at the stories he's got are pretty intense. He's coming over tomorrow to jam. We got to bring the bass over. He left the bass over in the house actually. He's bringing over a drum machine. We need a drummer. Is what we need. So
did you have a drummer in the old days?
No, I had Dave.
I remember
Dave?
You had Dave.
Dave was phenomenal. He killed me back in the day when he moved.
Explain to the audience, who Dave was.
Dave St.
And why he
Pierre
was so special to you.
Was back before I wrote the jams. Actually, I was gutting my old house, and I was trying to play the guitar, and Darren, Peanut Farmer's neighbor, said he played a little guitar. He said, "Yeah, I'll come over and jam." I said, "Dude, come on over, man. Like, let's just do it." But he had mad skills on his acoustic guitar. He's from Boston, up where they just jammed all the time.
Yeah, stuck inside. That's what you do.
Right. But he came over and we just jammed. He'd hear a song, he'd go, "Okay, I got it," and then he'd play it, and I'd sing. I was just learning to play the guitar, and dude, it was phenomenal. And when he left, he moved to Seattle. It kind of crushed me.
You broke the band up.
We broke the band up, and then I just had that nylon string, and I put together the jams after that. But, I don't know. Came and went, got the kid, so I'm trying to get back into it and really do so. Some people got a dream of making it big in the music business. I got a dream of making it small.
Hey.
Dude,
everybody, you got to follow your dreams.
Right.
You got to follow your dreams.
If I could just make it small with the guitar and drummer and bass and get out there and have some fun. Like, that's all it's all about.
Dude, I think there's plenty of people that just want to do that also.
Right.
That would have a good time.
I think so. It's all about connecting with the right personality and getting getting consistency where you can start playing together. And
is this gonna be like a for-profit thing
with the band?
No, the Honky Tonk.
The Honky Tonk. Well, not the garage. No. But someday I would love to have an actual bar. I thought about maybe bringing some honky country singers, not quite the superstars, but there's a whole line of independent artists that are badass, and they work their way around the country. And I thought about maybe promoting, trying to get them down here, doing a show, trying that out.
So what you're trying to say is there's a couple levels of country singers.
Oh, dude!
And there's like a real guy level.
There's a real guy level, right? Exactly.
And you figure you could attract the real guys,
right,
to do some honky tonks.
I mean. There's a dude, Cody Jinks, out there. If you ain't listening to him, he's phenomenal. And he's an independent guy. He just released 2 albums. Right. #1 on iTunes, both of them.
Really?
Little Kim was 3rd behind him. Independent guy. I saw him at Revolution downtown Fort Lauderdale last year.
All right.
Dude, phenomenal. Best show I've seen in years.
Most of the new country music that I've learned about in the last 18 months has been from your Facebook page. Well, like you'll go to a concert and you'll post and I like this jam, and then I'll go and I'll listen to it, or I like this guy and I'll go and I find them. I wouldn't find those people if I wouldn't follow you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, the Honky Tonk Garage is my little page I started on Facebook just to kind of get out there playing in front of people a little bit, and I don't know, it's my first step towards the honky tonk in town. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but it's a baby step in the direction, and we're gonna start throwing some parties at the house and actually. Maybe hire a couple bands and bring them over to the house. And
you're gonna hire some bands.
I'm gonna hire some bands. I got some 2-piece guys. I got a 5-piece that's phenomenal.
Right.
And then maybe have like a band jug where people can throw in when they come over. The big parties over there.
Yeah. So you pay for the band, and you get some booze and and party equipment.
Dude, you know how my wife is.
That was my next question. Is the wife in on this?
Oh, dude, she's beyond in on it. She loves her parties.
Well, on Facebook, she looks like she's having an awfully good time at them country concerts.
She does. We try not to miss any. Actually, Mirando Farm. You know Chelsea? Remember Chelsea?
Of course I remember Chelsea.
Mirando Farm. She's got she's St. Anthony's?
Yeah.
She's got a country. She's got, at her farm out there, is going to have this guy, like a Miami guy, that's a country guy. Frankie Vallejo, Ricky Vallejo.
Really?
On Saturday night. Like, it's her attempt at throwing a country concert at her farm. So we're going to go check it out.
Really?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. So come on out. Join us.
You got to remind me about that.
Okay. I'll send you guys a text.
I'm the worst. I forget everything. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I forget a lot too.
That's not age.
It's not what?
That's not age.
Not age?
No, I think we took one too many shots to the head in all them years we played football and all that. It's the only thing I could think of.
Shots to the head,
I mean,
shots to the bar.
It's definitely not the beer.
No.
Because I'd have lost my memory a long time ago if it was the beer.
For sure. Yeah, no, beer, whiskey.
So the next time we get together, Bursa, let's do it at the Honky Tonk Garage.
Okay.
And maybe you and Lamont bang out some of the best jams for the audience.
Okay.
And I'd love to hear you guys together with him playing the bass and you singing and all that.
Yeah, no, it's with the bass in there, it really fills the room up with music. Like it's a big deal when you get that second instrument in there.
Dude, everybody loves a little bass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all about that bass.
It's all about a little bass. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to the Real Guy podcast this week. I hope you enjoyed listening to Big Bursa Man Bursa.
Thanks for having me over. It's a lot of fun. Always coming over here doing this.
I think I'm not getting away from all the guests on the podcast.
Okay.
But this will be I think 59 or 60 episodes.
Okay. Wow.
That we've uploaded on the Waypoint platform.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hurdle's 50, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they said if you're still doing podcasts after your 50th episode, the chances of you being around are going to be
okay. Because there's a lot of podcasts out there, and
shitloads of podcasts.
It's like the new thing.
Yeah, but I think the more people podcast,
right,
the more I want to podcast.
Well, you got your niche. You're working off your part of land.
Yeah, but
like,
no, but you know what I mean. Like the more people podcast, the more I want to podcast.
Well, I'll start podcasting.
I want to do it from the Honky Tonk Garage.
Yeah, let's do one over the garage. We'll do one over there, and it'll be fun.
So until next time, thanks for tuning into the Real Guy podcast. And don't forget, give us a rating on iTunes. A 5-star rating would be great. And really appreciate your support. And run that dog.
Well, I woke up this morning. It was drizzling and rain. It was a hot, humid day. I was feeling no pain. Boat gassed up in the beer on ice. We're gonna go see if the mother all running tonight. Yeah, we take a cast net out and we shake it all about and we throw it to the left and chunk it to the right and we're gonna get ourselves a dozen so we can do that hog leg boogie. In hog leg we trust is what we say when we head out on the water day after day, trolling lines past our favorite spots, but we seem to get cooted a lot. Yeah, we take our cast net out and we shake it all about and we throw it to the left and we chunk it to the right and we're gonna get ourselves a dozen. We can do that hog leg boogie. Yeah, getting as much water time as we can afford. Don't care what the wife says, I'm hitting the door. The salt in the air and the sun in my face, it makes me seem like I'm not out of place. Yeah, we take our cast net out and we shake it all about and we throw it to the left and choke it to the right and we're gonna get ourselves a dozen. We can do that hog leg boogie. Boogie, 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 boogie. Hog